What's up, Dice Crew? Now, I got this video that I definitely want to tune in with, and I definitely want to give my outlook on it. It's by Young and Jefe from Gangsters. In the title, it reads, "The Grape Streets called my phone and asked, why am I in Grape Street business?" So I definitely felt like that's something interesting. So let's tune in. You know, if y'all been keeping up with Young and Jefe, he definitely done covered '03 Greedo and the Grape Streets and all that stuff about at least 3 different times, right? So let's tune in. I'm gonna keep you the Benji for y'all doing the reaction. Y'all keep you the Benji for me in the comments. Shout out to the Dice Crew. Let's rock.
I had did some content probably about a week ago pertaining to '03 Greedo. So, as y'all all know, we all know his business is being placed out there in the street, you know what I'm saying, and being paraded around. I don't know what's false. I don't know what's true. Y'all don't know what's false. Y'all don't know what's true unless y'all the parties that's involved. So, based on me doing that content, I got a call from the Grape Streets. I'm chilling yesterday, scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I see I got some messages popping up in my spam account. Check the spam account, see it says Gooch. I don't know who Gooch is, but I know that since I've been dropping these segments the last few days, my numbers in YouTube been going up. Y'all been having my algorithm through the roof going crazy, and a lot of people been logging in and tapping in, so I'm figuring it's one of those situations. I press follow back, furthermore see a message, hey, I'm trying to tap in. At this time, while I'm going through the Instagram feed and everything, I'm on a jail call with one of my guys, you know what I'm saying? But I got him on speaker as I'm doing other things throughout the phone. So I tell the Instagram Gooch that I'ma holler once I get off this jail call. I conclude my jail call, drop my number in the inbox, he called me. When he called me, the Gooch dude like, hold on, I got Runch on the line. So I'm like, okay, for sure. I'm like, what's happening? Prior to this, I don't know Gooch or Runch. So Runch like, what up, homie? I'm like, what's up with it? What it do? He like, shit. He like, hey, homie, why you got Grape Street in your mouth? Why you speaking on Grape Street business? So I'm like, huh? I'm like, Grape Street business on the internet, bro. I'm just speaking on what I see on the internet. I'm commutating and I'm speaking on what's been brought on the internet. I didn't go in Grape Street hood or put my ear to the streets to find out something that's not on the internet and come on the internet and speak Grape Street business. Y'all put that out there on the internet and I commutated on it. It's fair game.
Now I want to speak on this, right? Because, and y'all got to really follow me on this, right? Now, mind you, I'm not necessarily saying like Young and Jefe did something wrong or, you know, said something wrong. But this the catch in it. Like, when you from the gangland, when you from these streets, you know what I mean? Everything is tied in and it make everything more of a delicate matter. Now, even though you just commentating or you opinionating on something that's on the internet, it's more about like what our opinion may be or what we might break down or what light we shed, like what kind of light we shed on certain topics, right? Like, let's just say, for instance, Young and Jefe had, you know, on one video, he had pretty much said certain things about like '03 Greedo being from Sacramento and other places and stuff like that. Then you got another video to where like he pretty much was calling out like Runch and Gooch and other people from Grape, far as like saying that they was pretty much sweeping '03 Greedo paperwork and his accusations or the facts of him being the snitch under the rug when they was doing good business. So at that moment, when you start going that route, you are definitely like calling people out. You know what I'm saying? You definitely like putting thoughts in certain people's minds that they probably didn't even have, or you are saying certain things that other people are thinking about, but they just don't, want to say it, or they don't, they don't feel like it's their place to speak on it, or some people feel like, they might be afraid to speak on it. But on the other side of the table, you got to know that you definitely paint the picture against the image. You also, paint this image that's like, like that can be bad for business. You know what I'm saying? But when you really look at it, that's a strong accusation. And what Young and Jefe said, I definitely understand what he was saying, because everything is all on the internet. And it is starting to look like maybe everybody was okay with it until the fallout. You know what I'm saying? And from their perspective, it's like you calling me like a selective politicker. You calling me pretty much like a snitch sympathizer. You pretty much telling me that like I'm compromising my morals just for a check or a percentage pertaining to the music business, right? So now I'm going to just say this. If y'all was in them dudes' shoes, how would y'all take it? You know what I'm saying? And mind you, you got to know this. Even if Young and Jefe is right, a lot of people don't want to hear what's right, especially when it's pertaining to them. Young and Jefe can be speaking on the truth, but that don't necessarily mean that people want to hear the truth, especially when it's pertaining to them. You know what I'm saying? And also, it's even harder to just be a normal commentator on certain things when you are a part of the culture. Young and Jefe being from Detroit Gangsters, they being from Grape Street Watts. Shout out to both them groups. It becomes more of a conversation pertaining to like, this is why they like saying stay out of Grape Street business, because he's from a fellow community from the same gangland. Obviously, if y'all from the place, y'all understand that all these cities and everything run a little different course with the politics and stuff and so on and so on. But the fact that Young and Jefe is really from the land, and they are from the land, then it's more so like it could kind of bring it into an A-Tray versus, let me not say it like that because I don't want it to be took in the wrong way. Like, it can be taken as a A-Tray gangster speaking on Grape Street business. Not really like they gonna respect Young and Jefe's position as a so-called, blogger or commentator or journalist or news reporter. That don't mean they gonna respect that. You feel me? And that's just the truth. The same way, if you're not really getting out here and promoting yourself as a person from the culture or the gangland, people gonna feel like, why are you even opinionating on the gang culture? You know what I'm saying? And that's just truth in the matter. So I'm just breaking that down because I really get it, you know what I'm saying, from both perspectives. So y'all, let's continue to tune in and see what all Young and Jefe got to say.
So he like, no, homie, you saying you were saying that we went up there, parade paperwork and show paperwork, that ain't cool, that ain't street. Like, homie, I'm a real street dude, homie. I'm from Grape, homie. I know.
And you know what? Young and Jefe also said that too. And I agree with him. I have said some of the same things in some of my past videos. Me and other dudes that's in the streets, we have had these same communications. Like, since when do we try to prove street positions as far as like if a person good or bad in the streets to non-affiliates or to civilians or just normal people? Like, I do share that outlook on what Young Jefe said. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not really no reason for, I guess we in a day and time to where people like to expose people. So people to get out here and they do what they can to expose people. But to try to, like, in so many ways, it's a thin line. On one hand, it's just trying to expose 03 Greedo. But then on the other hand, coming from the street perspective, it's like y'all politicking with Adam 22 on 03, and y'all putting a civilian or a non-affiliate in Grape Street business or in street business. You know what I'm saying? Which is always going to be looked at as kind of strange. You know what I'm saying? Because we in a new time frame in these streets and stuff like that. So, when you came in, like, if you've been a part of these streets before all this podcasting and YouTube and the internet, then this definitely come off as like, kind of like a foreign situation. Like, wow, we really be having street dudes politicking on other street dudes with people that's not even a part of the culture. Let's continue though.
Be your homies, me and you don't know each other, but that could have been easily, you could have easily called in to figure out what's going on. So I agree with him that I could have called in because, Grape Street and A-Trays, have a relationship. And I got partners from Grape Street. And, I could go over there to the Jordan Downs, you know what I'm saying?
Now, one thing that I'm finna say, I could be wrong, but I would like to say that Young and Jefe ain't really too much invested on the street side of it too much anyway. As far as like, he not finna try to do nothing to Greedo. He not trying to like really like, you know what I'm saying? Like he got a new hustle, a new grind, a new, however you word it, a new, something that he's participating in as far as getting on this internet and commentating on certain events. So to him, he just like speaking on what's going on the internet. And obviously him being how he is, he only can deliver real outlooks on real situations, you know what I mean? But as far as him trying to really like, you know what I'm saying, like I don't think it's the case of like if O3 was sitting around somewhere in like St. Andrews Park or something like that, then maybe Young and Jefe would, took the approach of going through the back channels like, yo, it's a lot of stuff going on and rumors is this and this and that, dude be hanging. So what y'all think about that? Like, I need the backstory just so I can know, like, whether dude is good to keep hanging around, my area or certain other homies that I care about before, because if a dude is a snitch or have, stuff like that, that's a danger, you know what I'm saying, to everybody involved that this dude still be around. So he looking at it like, so that would be the case more so if it was going on that way. I think Young and Jefe would have went that route in the streets, you know what I'm saying? But instead, I think he's just looking at it as like, O3 Greedo, he got a Grape Street background and he from Grape, but he's a rapper and he's an entertainer and he's a public figure. So he's just covering one of these hot topics that's going on the internet. I don't think he was that invested to where he really even caring that much if Greedo was snitching or not. But, it's on the internet, so he don't have to, but he just gonna speak on certain stuff just because it's on the internet. And I think, that's where it's that's where he was pretty much just leaving it at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think if he seen O3 Greedo, he was gonna try to like, cause harm to him or, call him out his name or even disrespect him. He's just probably just, looking at it for what it is on the shallow end of things.
So I also explained to him that I wasn't in agreement with him and or them being on No Jumper with Adam and Whack 100 and allowing allowing Adam to sort through that paperwork as if he's a street figure. You know what I'm saying? I understand him and O3 Greedo has a relationship or whatever, but if
and I want to say this, right? Only because Adam 20, not Adam 22, but Young and Jefe just kind of like misspoken right now. And he said Whack 100 and when he meant to say Adam 22. But when he said Whack 100, it gave me a thought. And I want to also let y'all know this in the streets too. Like in the streets, a lot of dudes might find that wrong as well as some dudes whose Crips politicking about another Crip with a Pyru or a Blood or a Damu. You know what I'm saying? It is people who run those type of politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it a Benji and telling y'all different perspectives and different outlooks on how these things be going.
Greedo's a street dude. Is he a gangbanger? We don't come up here and promote this on TV. So, Rutch, for the boy stopped me right there, was like, well, hold on, homie. Dude ain't no street dude. I brought dude to the Grapes. Dude is from Sacramento. He's not a dude for the projects. He's not a dude for the bricks. He's a Sacramento dude that I brought over here. We had business going on. Dude owe me some money. And
which, I just got to keep it a Benji. If that was one of the responses that they gave to Young and Jefe, then it weighs in more to what Young and Jefe was saying. Like it seemed like, and even what Greedo said, Like it definitely seems like everything was all, all smooth and purple and grape when everything was still in a good space pertaining to the business. Now, the fact that it's no more good business, now we got to look at O3 Greedo like he's not from Watts, he's not from the projects, he's not from Grape, he's not a street guy, he's from another place. So in so many ways, it adds on to like what Young and Jefe said and what O3 Greedo said.
I kind of feel like the way you was commentating what you put out there, you try to place a false narrative on our situation. So I explained to him right there that I wasn't even invested in a fact like that. I was just going through YouTube one day, scrambling, looking for some content, and that's what I had came upon. I had seen before that Whack 100 was saying that dudes from Sacramento, blah, 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 but you don't know what's what because Whack 100 being a lot of stuff. He does have a lot of accuracy and stuff he plays out there, but it'd be messy this attached to it. So I don't know if that was true because I thought O3 Greedo was a Grape Street Watts dude out of Watts. I didn't know that he didn't grow there, that he flew there. So I understood the angle off the back. So I'm like, okay, and I think I might have touched up on it inside my segment that I dropped. So I furthermore let him know that it's more understanding knowing in which the angle he took and why he got up there. So O3 Greedo is, in fact, from Sacramento. Dudes was hopping in my comments saying that he's from Gardena. They went to Gardena with him. Then he got turned out and went to the Grape Streets. I heard it firsthand from Gooch and Rutch as they went on No Jumper and elaborated on it and exposed him. So the only reason why Greedo got exposed on No Jumper is because he's not a street dude. That's the only way they can holler at him. They've been trying to have him put up to the Jordans, and I guess he's not pulling up to the Jordans and trying to pull up on these dudes to hash the situation out. I don't know all this because I'm not from Grape Street, so I'm not invested in it. And that's what I explained to them, that I was just from a commutator aspect. This is what y'all placed out there versus what he placed out there. And I gave both y'all takes, and I gave a little theory of what I think might have been true. But I don't remember saying that he didn't owe them no money. You know what I'm saying? But I might have said something along the of O3 Greedo saying they hating and they stole some money from him because those was O3 Greedo words, and he even used harsher words and using that B word. It was like them just some little niggas and things like that. But I know how this internet thing go, and I know people probably was sending them dudes my reaction. Like, oh, look at this dude right here, Jefe, you know what I'm saying, from A-Train, he made a reaction. Woo, oh man, look, he in Grape Street business. Hey, look, he in Watt business.
And I'm also piggyback off something that Young and Jefe said early on in this video. He pretty much said he been booming, his numbers been going up, he been all in the algorithm. So you got to know this too, right? And this go for Young and Jefe, for me, or anybody else. But the bigger you get, the more you can control a narrative. The more you can push a narrative, the more you have influence. So it could be another reason of it could be a case of okay, Young and Jefe from A-Trade Gangsters is kind of moving, and his platform is growing. So that means he's almost, he's really being able to have an influence on people's mind.
That's not even the case because I could never be in no business that's placed on this internet. So we hashed it out, we both understood each other angles, you feel me? We both street dudes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure we got likewise backgrounds. So, furthermore, Runch, was just tripping about his percentage or whatever. And I guess Gooch was, if I'm not mistaken, the one, or somebody else, whoever was up on No Jumper, is the one that put the paperwork out there on him, of him snitching on the sister baby daddy. So I got all this information here from the horse mouth. Y'all felt like somebody was trying to start something, was hoping that they could make me and Ruts, me and the homie Ruts from Grape clash. And that wasn't even the case, you feel me? Because, like, you know, solid individuals go get down to the bottom of it. You know, where smoke is fire. You know, if we smell bullshit, you feel me? We go to pee on that bullshit and check that bullshit. But, you know, we had a good conversation, you know, like two grown men, you feel me? And, you know, I laid out there that, you know, we could have still pulled up and hollered, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But, you know, he had elaborated on that situation, and I just wanted to furthermore elaborated on it because this was a phone call between me and him. So I know it's gonna be other guys, and as well as trolls in the comments that's speaking about people speaking on things that hasn't people that speaking on things that has nothing to do with them in or their area. But we know in this YouTube universe, if it's placed out here, it's gonna be placed out here for us to commentate on. It just
And you know, say, you know, even though I understand why, you know, certain dudes or whatever from Grape Street or those exact dudes who was on No Jumper can feel a certain type of way behind, you know, people giving their opinion or Young and Jefe giving their opinion. And, you know, it can definitely be, you know, damaging to people images and stuff like that. But it is true, you know, Young and Jefe wouldn't have nothing to commentate on if they didn't get on the internet and make it public knowledge. So, you know, when you really put stuff out there on the public, you know, atmosphere, you got to be willing to understand that it's fair game. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that everybody got to speak on everything. I ain't saying everybody got to, you know, react to everything. And I never is saying that people got to disrespect anybody. But we do got to take accountability. Like, you know, if I post a picture of my dog and people get to making fun of my dog, I might not like it, but at the end of the day, I created that situation for myself. I could have easily not posted my dog on the internet.
Even when I'm commentating, I'm still going to watch the way in which I step because we don't want to offend those who don't. We don't want to offend those who don't deserve to be offended. You know, we keep it Jefe in these streets. So I wasn't going to even elaborate on this phone call, but another reason why I dropped this phone call because I've been seeing since my algorithm been up and I've been on this YouTube quest. I've been having a lot of trolls and people tapping in. So I got this one troll hiding behind his Instagram account, and I don't know what account is hiding behind here on YouTube. And I don't even know if it's a woman, but just by the bio pic and the symbols that's placed on the bio pic, you would think that it's a woman, unless it's somebody perpetrating to be something else. Every time I post something, I drop something on Instagram and or YouTube, this person is subbing me on their account. I'm talking about the peace. They tell me, oh, how can it be peace when you got a brother out here that's writing on walls and crossing everything out and doing this and that? My brother is writing on walls when people come over here and write on walls. He's like more like the cleanup guy that was out here crossing stuff out from other hoods hitting up over here. As well as this person is watching me and just like, I just don't understand how a person takes the time out their day to troll somebody that they don't even know or somebody that they do know. Like, just explore all this negative energy. Then this person got to say that I'm snitching because I got on here and I spoke Tune 5 name. I spoke the little dude from 60's name and the dude from Hoover name, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to the peace out here in the streets. How the hell if I'm snitching if nothing happened? That person can't go to jail for popping up at St. Andrews, doing like this with his camera trolling. The dude from Hoover can't go to jail for saying that can't nobody be on Hoover Street.
I'ma just say this, right? It's not snitching, cause it's all already out there. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why Young and Jefe know about it, because all this stuff is getting put out there as well. However, you know, anytime a guy that's a part of the gangland from the street culture, anytime, you know, we speak on certain things or highlight certain things or shed light on certain things or bring more attention to certain things, people gonna always pretty much, you know, maybe find it kind of like maybe they gonna act like it ain't a street dude's perspective position to really be doing. You know what I'm saying? To be adding more attention to certain things that's going on. Even though, you know, like I said, Young and Jefe, he grabbed all this stuff because everybody was putting all this out there on the internet anyway. You know what I'm saying? But again, we in a new time, so a lot of people ain't really used to people who coming from the gangland or the streets, you know, speaking on certain things, politicking with certain civilians about the streets, or, you know, shedding light or adding more attention to certain things. So that's just where we at with it. And some people also don't even really know what's going on. But like Young and Jefe said, that's a troll. So if they a troll, they gonna just say anything that they feel like they can say to get their troll on without having no real thought process behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because if if Toon 5 and all these dudes would have done something outside of the public light, and Young and Jefe brought that to the table, and it wasn't, you know, out there on the public eye anyway, then that would be more something to talk about. But at the end of the day, it's all out there anyway. So he's just pretty much speaking on what's already in the public.
And Toon can't go to jail for saying that he don't want no peace. Only way you can put these persons in jail is if you know a crime they did and you point the crime out that they did, or insinuating putting them in something. And Jefe don't do that there. But we gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. It's another one for y'all. It's your boy Young and Jefe. Don't care about number with the checks.